My name is Kayla. Today I'm going to be talking to you about reducing salt in your diet. Having a lot of salt in your diet can lead to a lot of different health complications. It can lead to high blood pressure, heart attack, or stroke. So you really want to be conscious of how much salt you're intaking every day. So I'm going to give you a couple tips on how to do that. So the recommended daily dose or daily intake of salt is about 2,300 milligrams. It may seem like a lot, but it's actually only about a teaspoon of salt, of table salt. So it adds up really quickly. Some tips to help you keep track of your intake is just to choose fresh food and food that's not processed. So you don't want to have like Doritos. That's not as good of a snack as, say, a handful of grapes. Canned and processed and frozen foods that don't say that they were fresh on them are often very loaded with salt. So you want to be very aware of that. One of the other things to look for is to read labels when you're at the store, and you want to choose foods that are low sodium. A good tip for this is to choose foods where the amount of sodium on the label is equal to or less than the calories in that. So, for example, for peanut butter, the calories in peanut butter are 190, and the sodium, this isn't a low sodium, but they do have low sodium peanut butter. But the sodium in this is 150 milligrams. So that is 40 less milligrams of salt than there are calories in this. So that would be a good snack, which is still a little high in sodium, but still not terrible. As opposed to Campbell's chicken noodle soup. For this little can, it's only 60 calories. But you want to make sure you look at the sodium because this actually has 890 milligrams of sodium, which is really, very, very high. So if you have 2 of those, you're already almost at your daily limit. Another tip, if you do have a diet that's high in sodium and you know this, eating foods with more potassium, that can help counteract what the salt is doing to your body. Having potassium in your diet can reduce your blood pressure. So good sources of potassium are potatoes, cantaloupes, beans, milk, and yogurt. One of the best sources and easiest ways to get them is from bananas. They're very high in potassium. And finally, to reduce the salt in your diet, you want to avoid adding salt to foods when you're sitting down and eating a meal. So you want to get rid of the table salt. So you don't want to just shake it on everything. You want to really try and enjoy your food without needing salt. Some things you're going to need salt for, but you want to try and avoid that as much as possible. I hope those were some helpful tips on how to reduce sodium in your diet. Today's code word is COOK, C-O-O-K. So you're going to want to use that to get credit for the session. Thank you for joining me in today's nutrition and hydration tip, and I will see you soon.